Come on. And I'm broadcasting live, too, so don't worry. The whole world can hear you fucking me over. All right. This is only a test broadcast for everyone that's paying attention. Anyone who gives a shit won't be paying attention anyway.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. The broadcasters of your area, in voluntary cooperation with federal, state, and local authorities, have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this had been an actual emergency, the attention signal you've just heard would have been followed by official information, news, or instructions.
You gotta keep them isolated.
It's the newest technique. They're all spreading disease. Now you're shitting your pants in the bathroom. You should have moved to Belize. The news all says that you're dead and you die. Go outside, then you're spreading the fire. If one doorknob gets that fucking virus, I'm gonna string you up, string you up, string you up, string you up. Hey! You're walking up to me, 6 feet away.
Gotta keep you isolated.
Hey, man, you got a square to spare? Oh.
You gotta keep them isolated.
Hey, don't pay no mind. We got the 19, we'll be doing lots of tiny iron. Hey, inside you stay. Ha! Yeah. Check it like this. Puppet master, can't advance your plan in Antioch. Ask $1 trillion man, William Shanley. Hand his handlers, where he at, cousin? Yo, retract the drag, net neutrality. Puppet master fallacy, can't fan him. Pass the actual keys, pineal gland speaking the language past your reach. Stone in the Rio Grande, seeking payments, objectivity reach. Son of the beast, left a pile of bones that the sun bleeds on the beach. BH peace. VIP like TIB, more like Tyler Quali, we be in the streets. Deflate your ego like the Metrodome. Yellow belly roll over, diamond cut through gold. You know this, metaphors, reset the metronome, never know. Fucking ready, hopeless. Caught 'em stealing quarters out my beverage holders. Yo, you smooth vultures. You morph norms and you hide the chessboards. You whores, you fucking go when you're gone regardless. Bang, 2 stains. I move blame, don't shoot blanks. My 2 aims and choose pain. Your fucking dude's strange. Alex Jones won't even give you loose chain. Bang, 2 stains. I move blame, don't shoot blanks. My 2 aims and choose pain. Your fucking dude's strange. Alex Jones won't even give you loose change. Multiple contexts. Frauds fall while they watching the clock rest. Vulnerable God sense. No broads at all. Barry Soul total cock fest. Process to bounce checks. Photographic memory helps me lock into your dark sense. Jack the Ripper, this triple lithium schizophrenic prostitute kid. You need to fucking block less. Acting like you from the projects. Let me guess. Man, you all Hillary, you winning till you getting Nancy Kerrigan. Then you felt the stereo setting in, waiting for the future, blocking the present, representing a never-ending Great Depression. Let's descend it. We're blind in irrelevance. 9/11 said the shit is devilish. National defense authorization, descent begins. Money is the death and it's the best of your friends. Yo, police shoot in the back of your head while you under arrest. Koch brothers and George Soros, sword in the pencil gone like Zorro. Yo, poverty stomped through the floorboards. Fucking Bull Toro, forward. Full torso disposal. Watching tyranny come at you full forward. Full force and towards Down the garbage disposal, there your fucking future goes. Only the Fuhrer knows how to draw up them blueprints. Here we go. Hope I get lasso, cracking pistachio. Facts are ours, lacking backbone. Thrown off your plateau, so cold. Thrown off the status quo. Full metal jacket, hand cannon, calico. Blasting automatic weapons in your asshole. Then I laugh slow. I'm underrated. Only your motherless child could appreciate it. A close shade, I should've never made it. Now I'm on my way with a broken compass and no map for navigation. I rap for more than just throw your hands up. You got your hands cuffed, unless you understand the hoax of Adam Lanza. Ronald Lee Haskell, the signs of societal cancer. Hold a grudge like Matt Drudge. Y'all whack fucks never ask us. Y'all pass up, cause your ass will get crushed. Just cause you're passive don't mean we act nuts.
Oh, yeah. Hunker down in my basement downtown. This is Robert J. Morris at ya, and this is the Daily NOONerino. And guess what? What a long struggle to get here. Oh gosh, it's been a bit of a cluster, as they say in in the parlance of our times. But I do digress. I do actually have a very, very good friend of mine here with us today. I'm looking at my volume meters here, and it's telling me that my input device is not inputting as much as it should be. So hang on, let me give you a little more input. This is a test broadcast. And, yeah, guys, holy crap. Getting here, like I said, was a long haul. But before I start anything, I do want to send a shout out to everybody that made this possible. The good people over at Healing Oracle. Those guys, hey, man, the job is nice. And also over at People's Internet Radio and our good friend Sean McGuire. Love you, mate. Just glad to be broadcasting again. That's all I got to say about that. And thank you for your help over at Healing Oracle Radio yourself. So anyway, another special shout out would have to go out to my buddy Mike Dawsey, who actually did happen to be in Spain during the, not the Spanish Inquisition, no, the actual, the original isolation. And then he got here. And they told him to isolate himself again. He told them to isolate yourself. Anyway, with that being said, though, I do have to say, though, a really, really good old friend of mine is back here. And he goes by the name of FYGP. Now, I don't know if you know, but that means, well, he'll tell you what that means. Hey there.
Well,
how you
hello.
doing?
Hello. How are you? Long time no talk, as one would say. That stands for Free Yourselves Globally Project,
Well, that's
and
not what it
I think that
originally
is
stands
a
for.
really but it actually originally stood for Fuck You Google Plus, because back in the day you used to do these kind of podcasts on Google Plus, and they always used to ban people and that kind of stuff. So that is why it stood for Fuck You Google Plus.
Yeah. Well, hey, you were instrumental at the time. Remember, we did the Scroogle project.
Yeah, we did. We broadcast for pretty much, I think, a day or even more. So that was quite fun.
I think actually, because they do it, they had it in 8-hour intervals. I think it was 8 hours. 8 hours was the limit for a podcast there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was 8 hours, I think. But then we also did parts 2 and part 3 and everything, and it was went on for much more than 8 hours.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm getting, is that we actually had a lot of people in the front lines, and we went. I think we went for 4.5, 5 days straight. Still got you? All right. Well, it seems like we might have lost FYGP, but yeah. Whoop. Oh.
I'm
Oh.
I'm here. I'm here.
Are you on
You're kind of.
Wi-Fi or direct connection?
I'm on 4G, so I think it should be fine. I mean, it says that voice connect is stable and everything, and it's pretty should be pretty quick as well.
I'm just trying to adjust the volume meters here because, like I said, guys, this is a test run of this system, and a lot of things have to be sorted out, including volume levels, connections, software, timing. But
Well,
welcome to the Daily
I'm
NOONerino.
I'm just happy that the internet finally works because so far it's been a battle every time during the Corona thing, and everybody seems to be at home on their devices. So it's really over. Oh, it's I mean, it's so slow. It's so slow. It's unbelievable, really. But now it finally works. So I'm happy.
Yeah, it's pretty shit to be honest with you. So
It
what you
is. It
seeing on
is.
things? You're in the Netherlands still, right?
I'm in Switzerland, but the Netherlands is also a good place, but because of 420. But no, I'm in Switzerland, and the Switzerland, the governments they have a border with Italy, of course, right?
Right, right.
So they actually didn't do much in the first couple of weeks, and then. The infection rates were much higher, but actually, like it's minuscule to compared to other pandemics that have happened before,
No doubt.
and just the mass hysteria about it is just the most frightening thing, I think.
Well, it's yeah. That's what I'm kind of getting after here now. Is it's the public perception of things that kind of drive me a little bit, well, ape shit to be fair. Like, you know, people wonder why, like, oh, I could take care of myself and blah blah blah. No, but apparently people can't. Because as soon as they get into that, that hysterical mode, uh, they're the ones running off and buying, 3 carts of things from Costco and whatever, the budget barn is at your, in your neighborhood, and acting like retards. Like it's all about keeping calm, cool, and collected. And I'm not saying this isn't a thing. It's definitely a thing, and you have to treat it like a thing. But
Yeah, you
man,
have to.
you know.
I mean, I think precautions are okay. I mean, you should probably take them. I mean, but it's not that dangerous in the grand scheme of things. But I mean, who wants to get it? I mean, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I'm just looking at what I'm not looking at it right now, but I have been. Of course, I have been. You know what I'm like. But I mean, just the numbers, like don't warrant such a hysterical response, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, we didn't die from Ebola when they flew a guy over who had Ebola and decided to cure him here instead of Africa where he got sick. You remember that fiasco?
Yeah, I remember the Ebola crisis quite vividly.
Yeah.
As if it just happened a couple of years ago, but it was like 2014 or something. Quite
Yeah,
a,
it was the
well,
same year that I actually met you guys on the YouTube. Basically, it was like just when we all
yeah,
first got kind
yeah,
of rolling around.
exactly. And then since then we have also had Zika and a
Oh,
couple of other things, right? We had
H1N1, avian flu, and apparently, actually,
H1N1. Yeah.
COVID-19 was it SARS-CoV-2? So apparently, this is COVID's revenge, which kind of sounds sleek. It's kind of like the sequel. Maybe that's. I mean, the last time we had SARS, we had SARS Fest. We had some pretty good bands show up, and everyone got wasted.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't
No,
want.
it's.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, what I think is truly Oh, sorry. What I think is truly unprecedented, Rob, is really that the whole world has been locked down due to this thing. I mean, never
Abs-
before have we seen this. In World War II, there was no total lockdowns anywhere, or
no.
Even
No,
in like the Spanish flu or the Russian flu back in the 19th century, there was no such thing as these lockdowns. And I think these lockdowns are really what is going to be worse than the virus, because
it's
what we see even creeping in more is the
it,
police state
yeah,
and
it
Big
might be
Brother and
what
everything.
comes. Like it's a. I think it's a. I think personally, like yeah, a few people, unfortunately and very tragically passed away in this whole endeavor. Not many more than a normal flu season, to be, fair. But at the same time, I think this was a dry run. I don't think this had anything to do about the disease. This had more to do about public perception, control. This had to do with telling people to stay in their homes. Like for the last like 20 years, people don't like each other anyway. Like it's like, oh yeah, it was already fucking, like sorry, I didn't mean to be a swear bear here, so I do apologize. I'm trying to be good on my daily podcast, but no, to be honest, it's rather frustrating.
No, it definitely is, and I mean, people are kind of on edge every time. Like, they like when you just walk into the store and like the clerk was actually shouting at me because there was not exactly 6 feet of distance between me and her and everything. So it's like,
At least,
yeah, yeah.
dude, that was 5.5 feet. Fuck off.
Exactly. I mean, as if it's gonna matter, like about 1 feet, but yeah, I mean, it's I mean, it's truly a unprecedented thing, all of this. And I think, yeah, you're right about this dry run kind of thing, to see kind of the reaction from the public and how the public is going to perceive this all, and how many people are actually going to kind of want to resist a lockdown and things. So
Well, and
that's
that
kind of,
and that's part
yeah.
and parcel of it, because it's how are people going to act? Because if some people go too over the top and they prove that they can't take care of themselves, then that's when groups like FEMA are going to step in and take care of them for themselves. And that's what scares me. It's like, I've been an isolationist for a couple decades now. I love locking myself up in my room and not talking to anyone for a while, except for the occasional, babble here or there, just to make sure I don't go stir crazy. But no, this is different. This is like this is out of character for most people that I know.
Hmm.
Ah, we lost you again briefly, did we?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, well, just for a second, but then I'm back. Yeah, it's unprecedented, and imagine like I mean, it being right now in Italy or somewhere in northern Italy, locked down in your, I don't know,
right.
2 room apartment or something. It's absolutely I mean, it's not a pleasant experience whatsoever. And then you go outside, you see police everywhere, and like you, maybe they check you and ask you what you're doing. If you are not going to the shop or to the doctor, you will get a fine in many countries.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's truly a big like police state kind of global lockdown experiment from
Uh,
pretty much all of the governments of the world.
And while all the governments are part and parcel to the what do you call it? I think my voice is really low. I'm looking at the meters and it's just not. Dun, 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 dun. Check.
I
Is that
think
better?
it's good. Yeah,
All right.
it's good.
Check. You're crossing over. Your voice is crossing over into the wrong channel. That's what fucked me up because I had you loud in one and not in the other at all. Like I said, this is a dry run. This is a test. There's a lot of moving parts here. Just trying to make sure I got all the audio inputs on the stream here. Yeah, no, it's a little bit. I'm not. Yeah, we're not doing this on a phone. But no, I do digress. I mean, no, it's just a really, really bizarre time. It's almost surreal. Like,
It's almost surreal. And like if you take a look at some measures that some countries took, like for example in France, I believe there's fines of hundreds of euros if you don't have a paper that states that you can basically leave the house for whatever reason, like just for essential reasons, basically.
Right, right.
And like being right now in the big city, well, I myself live on the countryside, so I consider myself lucky that I'm not in the big city because it's got to be a really tense atmosphere and people. I mean, people are usually extroverts, I would say. Most people seem to be extroverts from, I don't know, my experience. I myself am more of an introvert, so this doesn't really affect me that much, but I can see how many people who are extroverts and need social contacts are extremely affected by this.
Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah. Well, it's kind of like yeah. Can you imagine those people that are extroverted that just want to get out and they need that human contact and
Yeah,
like and they're gonna go stir crazy. Like that's when that's when idle hands they're gonna have an impact at that point. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
That's when the real sociopaths come out to play. That's to be honest.
Once the lockdown is over, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's people are gonna act totally differently. I think after this crisis, we'll see in which ways, but definitely for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes too. Like, there's so many things happening behind the scenes. Like legislations that are taking place. Like when people hunker down in their homes and are just watching their TV set or YouTube or jerking off to whatever. It's kind of like I don't know, how would you say, a perfect moment to make an impression. um, I don't know, man. What I'm trying to say is like people just kind of lose their minds in their state of reflection, I guess you could say. And I think I don't think they're gonna recover, honestly.
I think so either, especially if you have then afterwards you have the police state coming in and setting up all of. I mean, right now you have not just in China but also in Europe, and you have basically drones flying through residential areas, and if they see someone walking outside, they might even use a microphone attached to the drone to tell them to go back inside
Yeah.
or face arrest or a fine. And then you have, I don't know, in the Netherlands, there I saw footage of basically a big truck with a bunch of speakers on them, and then a woman's voice in the speakers telling everybody to hunker down and remain at home and to wash your hands and to I don't know, and all these precautionary measures. And it sounded like something straight out of a dystopian novel or something, or a dystopian movie, because I mean really they had this the tone, everything, it was just perfect for a dystopian movie, like hunker down in place, don't go outside, remain inside, just like in George Orwell. Really.
It's bizarre. Oh, by the way, in the background there, I decided I'm gonna play a little Tchaikovsky, Waltz of the Flowers. Just
I love
just
Tchaikovsky.
yeah, just get part and parcel with the spirit. So that'll be in the background for your listening pleasures. I'm also just continuing to test out the system. but hey,
No,
there is one thing I do have to say is that you and I, we are
Too COVID to quit. Too COVID to
yeah, that was just a test.
nice.
I'm
No,
trying to get all my
dude.
bells and whistles together here. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, I gotta figure out exactly how to pull it off. But my old computer that just died, but which I kind of brought back to life. I went and did the worst thing a man could do to a computer, and that's put Windows on it. And anyway, I have an HDMI streaming box, so I could probably stream from multiple sources at the same time, and we can maybe we can actually pull off a multi-stream and go off on the audio side, and then also do a video stream to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and just say, hey, get in everyone's faces.
would be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Sorry, I just have a little 420. I
Right.
I kind of missed the mark on my 12 o'clock broadcast, thing. But I digress.
No, I'm actually about to light up something as well. Well, it's decriminalized here, so.
I gotta make a list of songs to get, because Light It Up, that would be a good one.
I like, How High by Red and Muffin Man. That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah. I do have to say.
Yeah. No, but I think one positive thing out of all of this that we can take away, Rob, is that this crisis proved that you don't need to go to your cubicle and wake up in the morning at 7 and then get there at 9 and basically drive for 2 hours or something and then get back at 5 and be home at 7. You save so much time and energy by doing things from home, and it's possible. I mean, it's so senseless to go to your desk computer in the cubicle when you can just sit at home, do the same work.
Well, I kind of know what you mean, because I've been doing it since 1997. So I'm already I was ready for the apocalypse before it happened. I'm just being honest. I'm not bullshitting you. I've been doing this. I got so bored with it. I just $400 in my pocket. I just jumped in a truck and said, I'm gonna cruise across Canada. I don't know what's gonna happen. Got bored. You had to get out. It's a bizarre thing.
No, I think also actually now people will have so much more time with their families, so might be a good thing. If you have a toxic wife, that might be a bad thing, but otherwise it might be a good thing.
Well, I don't know. Toxic life. I mean, they're one and the same.
Yeah, probably. No, but no, it's truly I don't know. You just if you work 9 to 5s, and it's just a pain for me personally. I cannot basically keep up with it. So, I have weird sleep rhythms as well. So, this really freed me up and gave me a lot of freedom. But
when it comes to sleep, I have as much a rhythm as your stereotypical white guy, which is okay for me to say because everyone hates white people these days anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, oh man, this is getting to me.
It's all right, man. Seriously though, going back to sleep rhythms. I do website design. I do tech work from home and what have you. So I'm kind of well suited for it. I've always been kind of my own person. I don't get along well with people at the office, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I've almost knocked over a couple water coolers on people, so don't talk to me at the water cooler. But I digress. I'm not a violent person. I just don't have any time for it. It just kind of drives me a little bit nuts. It drives me a little bit off, kilter. And that happens to me a lot. In fact, I've gotten into a lot of trouble lately. I got a lot of flack. On Facebook because I say some pretty idiotic things. I do say idiotic things, but for a reason. Because there's a lot of idiots on Facebook, so I'm trying to get their attention. That's all. That's all it is, honestly. And the other people that aren't idiots, they attack me and tell me I'm an idiot. And then it's oh, crap. Yeah, the shoe's on the other foot. Crap. I should have seen that one coming. But I don't depend on those guys to be an idiot. You know what I mean? So it's I'm not thinking of them, and they're off my shit list. And, I do have to make some apologies. I don't mean to paint everyone with a broad brushstroke. I just use broad generalized terms, and sorry if you got caught in the crossfire. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really do love everyone.
The same, and so far, I mean, I haven't had any problems with anyone, but I mean, there's kind of people who don't like me. I don't know, but I can handle it. I mean, if they don't like you from the get go, then you can troll them as well. I mean, it's,
True story. Yeah,
yeah.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, so yeah, the good thing is that my university was cancelled and everything is online now, so that's pretty dope. And I just do listen to lessons in my underwear while I smoke a cigarette and sip on some iced tea, and that's pretty nice. I gotta say that.
Oh, you could say it here. Maybe not there where you are, but I know what you're talking about. The electric lettuce.
Yeah, that was lettuce. Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much legal everywhere here in Canada now. It even was before, like, before it became actually legal. Like, it was, in some places, other places they were just looking for an excuse to, like, beat you down. Put your noggin to the curb, that kind of thing. Sounds like I lost you again.
Yeah, but wait.
Well, actually, hang on though. You're right, because the internet is taking a huge pounding. Like it's getting busier than a brothel in Harlem. Yeah.
Oh, what time is it over there?
Here, it's about 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
That's Pacific time, not specifically Eastern, which is completely 3 hours ahead of us. It's almost time for anyone who's able to go to a job tomorrow to go to bed.
Exactly, and here it's 3:30 in the morning, so luckily I don't have a job.
You're a night owl. I know who I'm talking about.
That's good. Yeah, exactly. So no, I'm just really happy
it's
about
just
that.
Getting your attention. It's just getting your attention. Once I got your attention, then you'll be up till 6 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. That is true, man. But also, we had so many issues with the connections and shit. It was just crazy.
It was nice.
Just
crazy. I actually have my own internet. My computer overheated. It went crazy. I ripped apart a small little bar fridge that used a Peltier style, like inductive cooling element. It's like just this little extra gadget, but you need these massive heat sinks. So I built a massive heat sink structure, and I taped my laptop to it, and just to cool it down so it would operate. That's how desperate it got. It was nuts. But yeah, you're definitely in and out for sure on this connection. But unless you're just fucking with me.
No,
just
I'm
randomly
not really.
pause. That's awesome. That's how you fuck with someone, though. Just randomly pause. Like,
No, I wouldn't do that, man. I would do it maybe just, I don't know. I would do it to a guy like Bolsonaro, the Brazilian president,
Oh, all right. Go on.
Yeah. That's he actually has a bad cough right now, so I found this kind of video, and it's from 9gag. So he seems to be notably sick while holding a rally. So, and he has been kind of ignoring the whole thing. So, and just walking around without masks and gloves, and like shaking everybody's hands and
just
stuff.
Walking outside like fucking flu season.
Yeah, exactly. And like he didn't give a shit, and he said like it's not gonna kill me. It's not gonna fucking kill me. It probably isn't even real and shit. So I don't know, maybe it's everything just psyop with all of these leaders getting sick. I don't know. We never know exactly, but it's just funny to see. Like,
well, no, it's definitely serious because Tom Hanks' wife had it, and so did Tom Hanks. He had the blasés. His words,
exactly.
not mine.
Those his words, really? I didn't read that.
I don't know. He's quoted the same blasés. It might have been the media too, because it does work both ways. But Jesus Christ, I'm glad he got better. Our prime minister, our prime minister was COVID. He's too COVID to quit too. Hang on.
He didn't test though, but he didn't.
Wait, no. On that note, I have to say,
Too COVID to quit. Too COVID to quit.
I'm talking about.
Well, what happened to him? Like he was in like whatever isolation. He didn't like see his wife or like.
Actually, he grew a
Was-
beard.
yeah.
He looks like about 10 years older now. You know, it's like the difference between young Riker and season 3 Riker on Star Trek. Yeah. So now seriously, our prime minister, he's like season 3 Riker now.
Really?
He's a little bit less feminist.
Okay, that's good. Because he was really, really feminist.
I didn't say acts better. I'm just saying.
Acts better. No, he's still the same, but he just looks different, right?
Don't worry,
I
this
gotta-
is being recorded in history.
Oh, I know. I gotta Google him now with a beard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's going for that he's going for that kind of Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of look, you know, the Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he kind of reminds me more like, I don't know if he's not obvious, not blonde and stuff, but he kind of reminds me of actor Owen Wilson from like 90s movies and shitty 90s movies.
Yeah,
Owen
I can see him with a case of kokanee wanting to avenge his brother's death. And people who know will know that reference. Okay, that was bad. I shouldn't have said that.
Starsky and Hutch, or wait?
No, Kokanee is a mountain, and at the very bottom of the mountain is a body of water, which has a natural spring that they use to make Kokanee beer. And his brother died in a skiing accident, and they've never found his body, but he's in that lake somewhere.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Hang on.
No, but like what I mean,
It's
he, for
appropriate,
example, he announced the immigration minister to be an immigrant, right?
Yeah.
Well, the immigration minister is an immigrant right now.
Yeah,
And then
you can't write this. You cannot write this stuff. Was it Jeff C that said that? Like, that was one of his big statements. Like, you cannot write this shit. And it's true.
It's truly true, and I mean, like, going back to like all of the world leaders that have COVID right now and are too COVID to quit, and I mean, it's not
Hashtag
really.
too COVID to quit.
And like, actually, I saw Angela Merkel is being praised pretty much by all of the people who are like, well, I don't know, globalists, whatever, for lack of a better term, for explaining the COVID thing really well. But actually, so since I'm a German native speaker, like, she actually messed it up pretty bad. So the subtitles were right, but actually, when you hear her talk, then she doesn't have anything, an idea.
Yeah, well, hang on. Let's go on. Continue the story. I'm gonna pull up something. We'll get it right out of the horse's mouth. What do you think?
That's nice. We can do it. Well, it was Merkel. She was basically talking about infection rates, and there was a lot of numbers in that in order to make it seem scientific. And obviously, she is a physicist from profession, Merkel. So. But somewhere she just got lost in the numbers, and everything was a mess. So,
Yeah, right.
wait, I can find it real quick.
Yeah, and you know what? Like a trained puppy, what I just did is I just went and tried to. Well, I'm not using Google. I'm using DuckDuckGo. But I digress. I just went and looked up the subject of something that I covered in one of my own videos. All they had to do was go to my own video. So no, I mean, people don't know how much they can get untrained from what they. I don't know. It's weird. You get into this whole dependency kind of a thing. But
Yeah. I mean,
I'm listening to this track in the background. It's like a video game music I made back. Yeah, I use copyrighted Jurassic Park samples.
I hope they don't get take the podcast down. Man, that copyright is really, I mean, it's the next level.
Yeah, I'd be like,
And, like, if you think
that'd be
about
once
it-
you get to like the third level down in Doom or something. Then you get everything just goes ape shit.
No, but if you think about it, like with modern day copyright laws, probably none of the music that has ever been made during the 20th century could have been made.
Oh Christ! One of these
Because
days
everything
they're
is-
going to start copywriting like actual just frequencies of sound. That's my sawtooth at 90 hertz. You know what I mean? Like, oh.
No, everything is sampled. Everything is something has been sampled. It's crazy.
Yeah, physically speaking, in a recording sense, and also just like I don't know, emotionally and you know, philosophy. Like, I'm not even going to attempt to say the word. Not now. I just smoked. But yeah. But I digress.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Like you have so many things that like sound or like emotionally and invoke the same kind of
Yeah.
feeling about a song, for example, or for songs that remind of each other, just from some sort of nature, or I don't know, some patterns. I mean, some kind of connections that the brain makes. In other words,
My puppy is literally just like looking over at me from across from 2 rooms away and just crying at me like, "Would you stop talking to yourself, you stupid man?"
well, glad my cat's not here. He's hunting mice and shit, but he
funny.
would be probably good.
Because I work. I work and I talk to myself while I work, right? So like, I talk myself through problems. I'm sorry, red wire, green wire, which one do I cut? That kind of shit. And it's like you don't want to cut the wrong wire, so you have to talk to yourself and get yourself through that. Anyway, my dog took that on now she's starting to talk to herself.
Yeah, the pets take the traits from the owners. That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she can go get her own beer then, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. She should by now know how to open the fridge and open the beer can or the bottle with a bottle opener and just lie down on the couch and start sipping the beer.
Yeah.
And yeah, rolling something up at the moment as well.
That
so.
Did I play that? Okay, no, that's not going over the stream. Okay. I'm playing a video back, but it's coming into my ears. It's not being broadcast in a moment. That's weird. You can't hear that? You can't hear that?
I can't hear it.
Okay, good. So all I have to do is just switch the channel. Sweet. Yeah, for anyone listening, I'm very sorry, but this is a test. Oh, this is working out perfectly. Hang on.
Is it good?
Your business
So yeah, I did a little coverage. Sorry for the dead air, guys, but I did a little coverage.
Another Wix
Here we
ad.
go. Hang on, there we go. Spy Hunter song just came into my mind. It's that music I'm playing in the background. You guys still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
I'm listening.
Okay, all right. So that is going to play on that channel. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just getting this straight, guys. Boom. Where is it? It's not coming in.
No, it's not coming in, man.
God damn it. Hang on. God damn, it's so anticlimactic, ain't it? Why is that not coming?
Just building up the suspense, man. That's it.
No, because everybody else wants to hear it. Anybody else? I don't know. Output devices, configuration, recording. Ah, it should come in through there. Oh, I know what's going on here. All right, I'm coming into the wrong input. Okay, so all I gotta do is this. It's not piping in.
1.3.
There it goes. Now.
Yeah, let's hear that again.
New vaccines.
Okay, let me from the top.
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3.
Yeah, let's hear that again.
New vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Not even going to play anymore. You know why? Because it irritates me, and I get really, really upset when I hear this. Guys, Mr. Bill Gates can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I said that.
I didn't hear anything.
Do you remember when I said that? were you able to hear it?
I didn't hear anything actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I know. I don't know if it got piped into the channel that you're on Skype. That's okay. So it might not have fed back to you. Okay. Well, I'll have to make that connection.
It's fine. I'm here in Discord. I'm here in Discord now.
You're on Discord, yeah. So
yeah.
That's coming in through there. All I did was change the one direction, though. So say something again.
Man, One Direction is a shitty band.
That's you. So the source on the other screen should be one.source, and you're one.sync, and that's one.source. Oh, that should have worked. I might have IDJC configured wrong, because it kind of works like, one of those old school fucking patch bays. You know, you plug it in, quarter-inch fucking jack into,
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is like visually speaking, and it's a goddamn cornucopia of spider web spaghetti.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I can't imagine.
Yeah. And like I said, I just smoked. But I mean, I'm kind of stumbling my way through this. I'm getting the hang of it.
We're good.
A little out of practice. I used to do it a lot, remember? And then I just stopped.
Back in the days, yeah, for sure. Well, we found so much stuff, and like I don't know, like except all of this hysteria, I haven't been like following shit at all, basically. So. Like, actually, yeah, you're right. You got to look at the stuff in the background, but like your daily life keeps going, and like you just hear about this every day. So you're pretty much also just informed about this, right? So yeah. I mean, I should probably inform myself about the other shit that's going on, because as you said, like now there's time to push through all of the legislation.
I'm going to tell you something. It's like there's like. I'm 46. I turned 46 in May, and it's one of those things where, twice in my life I got to a point where I was done. And I'm done. I'm done again. It's like, oh yeah, you're done. Yeah, sure, you're done, Rob. It's like I can't even convince myself I'm done. So I don't know, man. This is like It's one of those things where I don't know.
It's just done with society.
When you just you're not sick of it, but like you try to mean so well. You try to mean so well that it's just like crap. You kind of throw your arms up, but at the same
time, just over it. You're just kind of over it. I know what you're saying.
But then you still turn around and you want to buy a guy a hamburger or something, It's like
yeah, or just talk like about what is actually happening, like probably a huge vaccine agenda afterwards as well, and the surveillance agenda and everything. And like, whoa, if you talk about this, like still, like people, there's been so many cases of governments just straight up lying, straight up like I don't know, intriguing, killing people, being corrupt, starting wars. I don't know. discrediting actual fucking journalists and like killing leakers and shit. There's so many cases of that, and people are still gonna buy all of the lies that come from. Like, most people are gonna still buy them, and don't get it.
It's desensitization is what it is. It's absolute. But the thing is like some of us that are a little older, we weren't desensitized in that way, in that fashion. We desensitized ourselves. Like, I mean, we went out, we used to climb trees and eat toys with like lead paint and shit, like we would, ride bikes with that, weren't, all put together right and stuff, and, get really hurt and play with lawn darts and, good times. Like,
you can say whatever the fuck you want, right? You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Now they just want to, roll kids out in these fucking hamster balls and just fucking But at the same time, not support them. They just basically roll those fucking hamster balls right off to the institution that teaches them though, and they wonder why the kids are like weird.
Yeah,
I'm weird for different reasons, but at least I own that.
Yeah, well, the institutions are just, it's just virtually one of the worst things ever. All you are ever going to get is just to be a group thinker and not a free thinker at all whatsoever. And just takes authority for granted and never question it. So that's pretty much the main lesson from pretty much away from, kindergarten to college, pretty much. Well, in college, if you do it smartly, then you can get through with some stuff, right?
Yeah, but a very small percentage that get to the end of that light of the tunnel. It doesn't really amount to what they expect, and
that is true.
There's a very small percentage that actually get to that goal. I mean, they usually have to find another way. If anything, being a total fuck off in college will teach you how to be a better person, to not do what you originally thought was a good idea.
Yeah, exactly, and like I don't know, it's just incredible, like how many actually dumb people are in college just because of some connection or like I don't know, privileged. But I mean, I would rather have a guy that's working at a gas station. He's probably more knowledgeable about things than some of these people in Ivy League colleges and shit. So it's really
well, I mean, again though, now we're kind of crossing over into that territory of, if you're talking Ivy League colleges, now you start talking institution, you're also talking indoctrination, it starts to ramp things up. That's where you lose the free thinking at that point, unless you're really clever. If you're really clever, you'll see through it, but not so many follow that path. I'm sorry.
Exactly, and you can freely think that, I don't know, it's like in some of these societies in Yale, for example, where all of the presidents were in Skull and Bones, like their free thinking, so to say, well, it surely was that, we gotta make it.
That's when they flip the script. That's their free thinking, but for the dark side, that's when they.
For the dark side, well, from our perspective, but from their perspective, they just want to create a liberal world order or whatever the fuck that means. But
they're good guys.
Yeah, they are really terrible guys, but they're responsible for the deaths of millions. But sure, they're displayed as the good guys, right? They just want.
And that was just one war.
Yeah, no, it's the war against the virus. Did you see actually, Rob, how many people, how many presidents came out and actually talked about being at war with a virus? It was like pretty much every president of every European country, and America.
Hey, we saw how the war on drugs worked out. If you can't beat them, join them.
Exactly, and there was a funny meme. Actually, there was a funny meme about Italy where, like, they photoshopped the picture of Matteo Renzi, the prime minister there, and they said, "Well, from now Italy is switching sides to COVID-19."
Actually,
Because they switched-
Italy is
yeah.
always switch sides all the time. It's very
Yeah.
consistent. That's awesome.
Exactly, that would be the best. No,
That's
the
great.
virus, and then there's like a quote: Matteo Renzi proclaims off to final victory of COVID-19.
Jesus Christ! Hey, my buddy Mike Dodgy, he was riding his motorcycle across Europe. He went over there. He's afraid to fly, so he took a boat. He put his motorcycle on it. There's a whole lot of videos. When I post this show, I will post links to Mike Dodgy and his website. But yeah, he did a lot of stuff over there, and it was just amazing that suddenly it all shut down. He got to Spain. He was so awesome. Oh yeah, this is great. And then he was in a tent. He was in a tent for like, I think it was like 12 days or something like that. He was like literally in a tent with another girl and just kind of hanging out because he couldn't go out. They had drones flying everywhere. He'd sneak out, like take shots.
That is the drones, man. But otherwise that would be good. Well, if you had gun rights in your Spain, then you could shoot down the fucking
just
drone,
shoot the fucking things down right out of the sky. Sorry, this is a family-friendly show.
hearing-
Sorry about the F-bombs.
Yeah, but we don't. I thought you were gonna say sorry about shooting drones out of the sky. No, but we should do that, really.
Actually, no. You know what? No, that's a perfect segue to this. What I'm about to say. You don't have to ask for permission to take care of yourself.
Exactly.
So, like, if anybody out there is like wondering, like, oh, well, then take measures. Like, don't be nuts, don't be crazy, and don't act like a retard. And then no one will, then no one will have a reason to come out and do anything about it. But geez,
Yeah, exactly.
if somebody is actually threatening you, no, you take them out. Or what you do is you neutralize the threat, and that just means just remove their ability to cause you harm. And otherwise, if they push it, well then, stage 2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that goes also for government and stuff. I mean, it's truly like in Switzerland, people are not actually, they are not panicking or anything. They're just staying at home mostly, but they are kind of, after all this time, they just don't give a shit anymore. So
Yeah,
they're
but
just
everyone in Switzerland is like a rocket scientist, so they're just reading stuff on the internet all the time. So they're not really talking to people anyway.
But they believe what the government says. So the government of Switzerland didn't have enough masks, right? They didn't have enough masks and gloves. And then they said, masks are not effective. I mean, it's untrue, but whatever.
Well,
but
actually, apparently, according to the mass media, I'm not saying this. They said this. Apparently, you're not cured even if you get the disease and survive it. So, I mean, what the hell is the vaccine going to do? Because that's just a weakened version of the disease. So what? Is it just a reason to stick a needle into you?
Yeah, well, what is it going to do? Yeah, what is it going to do?
No, by their admission, though, if they're saying that you're not cured by the disease, I mean, okay, listen, if you rewind back to the 1950s, you're talking like smallpox and this and that. Hey, listen, the concept and the implementation of a vaccine is a fantastic and a good idea for survival.
Exactly.
But
I agree with that.
You don't know what they're putting into the ones they have now, is my point. And they're just looking for reasons to stick needles into you, and I don't like that.
And back in the day, the governments really had a motive to vaccine people and actually give them the right stuff.
Yeah, but you know what, though? They had oversight. They had oversight, though, back then, man. Because, like, they had companies, they couldn't put out a vaccine until it got, like, thoroughly and regularly tested and analyzed. And nowadays, the companies doing that analysis are the companies producing, and the legislators are ex-company employees of said businesses. So I mean, it's a perfect system to green light anything that they want to put out. And I'm not being a conspiracy theorist here.
No, not at all. Not at all. And when you see how much money is in especially in the United States, where you have basically technically a for-profit healthcare system, I would say. That's what I would call it. I mean, they actually spend like $2 trillion on their healthcare, right, in the United States, and can't get it to work. And it's just because there's so much corruption in it. Like, I don't see any other reason how else it could be, right?
I'd like people to think back about Zika again, going back to Central America. It was only about 2.5 weeks before it became big news, and they already had a vaccination to airdrop over the population. So, I mean, think about that shit. Who asked for that? Huh?
Yeah,
that kind of shit. That kind of shit drives me nuts. Like,
they might drop sulfuric acid over you and call it a vaccine or something in some of these states. Really,
no, it's good. It's good for your skin.
It's good for you. It's good for you. Yeah. Would that be something if they?
No, but I mean, in urban, I would like to say something that doesn't sound offensive. So I'm just going to say within the Five Eye population. And that's basically, where they are. That's America, that's Canada, Britain, New Zealand, and Australia. And in that NATO collective, there's a very narrow perspective and a narrow sense of input that they receive because, they're only getting the input from the channels that are provided to them. Like, they're not, in their daily grind, they're not going out and actually getting information. They're just taking it in and only being provided sources in order to obtain it. So, I mean, it's no question why this takes place.
Exactly. And like you would basically see European news outlets just rewriting news outlets from the United States, and the mainstream media just has become, or especially like during the last years, I mean, maybe in like the early 2010s you had a little bit more, but still little, like in the entire media as a whole, the media as a whole, you had some legitimate opposition and stuff. Now it's just everything is either mainstream media or controlled opposition for the most part, and people doing podcasts, and that's it. Like,
when I got into the YouTube, I was late in the game getting into the YouTube scene, and when I did, I kind of came in at a really weird moment in YouTube history because that's the first that I ever heard of where COINTELPRO actually got involved. And they got everybody. They got everybody to fight everybody and completely destroyed the system from the inside and turned it into a quagmire. And then out of that, you got the flat Earth movement and all these things. Like, it was like we watched the birth of it.
Exactly, man. Yeah, like man, the flat Earth theory, man. Yeah, we watched the birth of the flat Earth theory, of the Mandela effect.
All of that. God, you're from another dimension.
Yeah, from another dimension.
You weren't the same you as you were 2 years ago.
No, exactly with the Berenstain Bears and shit.
Yeah, that mole was on the left side of your face. Wow. I know it's kind of nuts. I mean, but no, it was weird because
I can clearly remember Steph Curry was a left-hand shooter, but now he's a right-hand shooter. How's that possible, or something like that?
No. I mean, like anybody that just like got sick of jerking off to Pornhub. It's just like, I want to get some entertainment. Yeah, give it a rest. Great. I mean. Shit. It brings back memories thinking back to those days, though, because I mean, I'm not going to name names, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, like Australian Roundtable. They started dinosaurs never existed. Rockets can't fly in space. Space doesn't exist. God, there's It's a good number, though. Oh, man. Oh, you know what? I'm getting weak in the knees, and I'm actually starting to feel a little bit reminiscent. And, wow.
and I love
It was
JLB.
better. It was better when stupid was real stupid and not just collectively stupid like it is today. That drives me more fucking nuts. Not, you know what? That depresses me more than those T words.
I just remember, I think JLB ripping on the bong while a picture is falling in the back or something. A picture of a flat earth is falling in the back. Or like he tries to grab it and then it just falls over even more. So that was hilarious. I mean...
No, it's just, we live in weird times. And you know what? And it's funny. It's no wonder why the rest of the population groups us all together into one, into one group. And that was the intent. That was the intent of COINTEL. Like they were like, all right, let's just get these guys discredited. Then boom, fake news came out. Mind you, though, I do appreciate the send out to CNN about them being fake news, and then CBS got caught using the same footage for Spain and presenting it as a New York hospital.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's nuts. Yeah. Really. I mean, I've seen so many fake news, and like. They even attack people left and right, like even establishment people such as Elon Musk, and then Elon Musk calls them out on Twitter, and then like everybody hates them. So
you know what, man? I like Elon. It took me a while to figure out what I felt, how I felt and what I felt about him. But you know what? I like Elon. He's too fucking weird to be a bad guy.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking weird, man.
Yeah, he's too weird to have bad intent. Like, I honestly do think he wants to help this entire planet just get off of it. Like, I do believe that. I personally fucking believe that. Oh, again, sorry, family friendly.
He said some things about where like pretty much like a truther talk recently, a year ago or something. I can't remember what exactly, but. I mean, I can maybe find it for another time. But anyways, like, where was it? Where were we? Yeah. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, man. Can you help me? Can you help me out?
That's creeper weed, isn't it? That's creeper weed for sure.
No. I think it's getting better as the time progresses. But anyways, we were talking about information. So really what astonishes me is also, like as you said, first they came in with the flat earth Mandela effect things, and then it went on to basically MAGA, Trump-tard nationalists who are, I don't know, racist and everything, and then all of the SJW versus the nationalists, and YouTube just turned into that.
That's when the SJWs really started. They started off as trolls, just fucking ragging on us, doing like honest. Even if we were wrong, we were trying to do independent like journalism and trying to be independent citizen reporters, and because we knew that it wasn't really being done, so we were trying to fill up that gap and that void, and then we got hit by that troll crowd.
And it's exactly what it is. I mean, real conspiracies like 9/11. I mean, there's nothing bigger than 9/11. Maybe COVID is. Well, COVID's not going to be bigger probably because. I mean, we'll see. Maybe there's going to be another outbreak that's going to blow everything out of proportions, or a fake alien. No, I'm kidding. But
hey man, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Like, I
mean, really, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh, okay. I mean, supposedly an asteroid's, it's going to slam into our planet on the 29th of April. I didn't want to tell anyone, but hey, that's what they're saying.
Yeah. I mean, could be, yeah. Imagine that. Imagine if like, hypothetically, like, somebody pulled this off, right? In the state that everybody's in, like...
That's awesome.
That would be hilarious, man. I mean, not hilarious, but, like, what the fuck?
I think the word you're looking for is ironic. But, no. Yeah. Actually, no, that's completely and grammatically wrong. It's coincidental.
Coincidental, yeah. It would be coincidental, yeah. No, or like, I don't know, World War III starts right now. That would be also pretty fucking nuts. But I mean, we almost forgot that in the beginning of the year, there was a lot of showdowns in the Middle East between Iran and the United States. They killed Soleimani, the leader of the.
Do you remember the good old days when war was just enough?
That was actually better, but like ever since the atomic bomb, everybody's just a pussy and like doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, that'll do it to you, though. See one of those bad boys go off. You don't even want to hear about it. Three generations later, you don't want to even hear about it. In fact, we're going to take down some statues because it reminds us of a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. Of a bad guy who defended, I don't know, the South or whatever, slavery and shit. Yeah, it's hilarious and rewriting history all the time. But anyways, like 2020 has just been nuts. Like this, it started with that Iran thing.
Well, they almost got away with the Christopher Columbus thing. They almost got that one through.
Christopher Columbus thing?
No. Christopher Columbus discovering America. They almost got that one through the history books, but they didn't.
Yeah. And the Vikings were first, I think. The Vikings pretty much were first.
They were the first in
from
everything.
And they were the best, man.
Badass bunch
simpler
of Mother Norsemen.
They just go around, pillage churches on the coast of England and rape a couple of women
but also they would size up other communities. It's like, oh, okay, these guys are they'd be worth our time just getting to know them and share technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was a fine group of people. It's like, oh, these guys got a lot of shit. They can't keep it.
Yeah, exactly. The richer guys and in the South, but no, they definitely were pioneers, and like when you think about it, people had so many more skills than back in the days, like way back in the day.
Building long range seaworthy vessels. Like, I mean, that's just that takes technical skill. I mean, even if you just built your first one, you're not coming back to share your story of where you went wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, crap, that didn't work out. When you're looking for the shoreline and somebody who just died, you're, okay. All right,
and 1,000 years later, some people dig it up, and it's still intact. It's like still
true.
Fucking waterproof, basically. It's fucking nuts, man.
Really? and I don't know. We're going off on a tangent, but that's the nature of the beast here on the Daily NOONerino. Oh yeah, I came up with a catchy jingle, but it's not done yet. I gotta record it, and it's gonna be the rage, as they say. But fucking lost my train of thought because I was talking about the Daily NOONerino jingle.
We were talking about how people had more skills. Well, just if you go back, I don't know, 100 years or 150 years or whatever. Like, just go back in time whenever.
If you go back 80 years ago, everybody knew how to clean and cook a squirrel. I mean, it wouldn't happen nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even bullshitting. It's like, oh god damn, I haven't seen any protein, any meat in 4 weeks. Oh, but there's that fairly annoying squirrels out there. We're gonna get them. That's why I bought a crossbow.
What are you gonna do if your family's starving?
They told me I'm not gonna be able to get food at the grocery store. I'm like, well, there is a large family of squirrels in my backyard, so I bought a crossbow.
Yeah, people would do that, and like today, the people would just starve to death.
I'd be a murderer.
People would probably starve to death if the pizza delivery doesn't show up anymore. I mean, it's truly
actually fascinating. You know what? Oh god, I have to make a public admission. You're right about that, because that's been my source of food for the last I don't know how many weeks now. But yeah, you're absolutely right. As soon as I run out of money or pizza, squirrels next.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I'm just waiting for my arrows to come from Amazon.ca.
Nice. Nice.
I
Yeah,
only
I
got
think
four
my
good ones left. I got 4 good ones left because I smashed a couple of them, or a few of them, trying to zero in my red dot. But I don't actually have a. I realized after I destroyed like 8 arrows that, I didn't have a really good target to hit. I just went through every time. The thing shoots at like 295 feet per second.
Oh,
so.
that's fucking quick, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I
it's a
personally
heavy bow.
have a medieval longbow and a
that's badass.
crossbow.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah,
Hey, in the apocalypse, that's how you get chicks. Like, you just do the longbow thing, arch all the way back, shoot way up in the sky, hit nothing or not. Oh, yeah, she's in.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, I only have like 2 arrows left, so
and there's only 2 rods in your town, eh? No, I'm just joking.
yeah, exactly, man. That's about the population here. But really, I have deer. I have deer in the forest upstairs. So whenever
good thing you have
actually
alternatives.
them, so.
No,
exactly.
deer are people too. Oh, you
deer
mean
are good
food.
too. Deer are tasty. Yeah, for food. Deer are tasty.
I was just being a dick.
Yeah, no, but like, I'm actually good. Like, I mean, I'll go back once to the city to continue with university, so there's gonna be plenty of chicks, I guess. But
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
hey,
like,
man.
if
Hey,
ever
when you get there, you send me a postcard.
I will, man. I will, man. I will. Yeah. No, whenever shit hits the fan, the deer, man, I'm gonna hunt them. For sure.
Well, the truth of the matter is where I live, I'm in a unique geographical place, and a lot of people ask me what my plan is. They're like, "Oh, are you a prepper?" It's like, "Yeah." "Oh, so you're prepared?" Like, totally. All right. What's your plan? It's like, not to have a plan. Especially if I told people, because everyone would have the same fucking plan. So you're not knowing. That's how it goes.
Exactly, and when they know that all of the shit is in your house, they're gonna come at your house, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if shit really hits the fan.
Yeah, for shits and giggles, I filled up a box. It was an Amazon delivery box for something I received. Anyway, I decided to fill it up with my dog's poo-poos and put it out, tape it up, put it back out on the porch for the local crackheads to steal. And yeah, I don't know where it went, but it went.
Oh, you got rid of it, so that's good.
hey, it's cheap disposal of debris, as they say.
Yeah. No, man. No, it's crazy. I mean, and like people actually, like the funniest thing is like the toilet paper mania that we have seen, the toilet preppers. I think that is really an appropriate term for them, right?
I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. I think that's the most hilarious thing. Like, out of all of the fucking sorrow and horrible things and the death, like, I think the toilet paper thing is the funniest thing that came out of this. My dog is learning to use her voice. Like, she's literally, I think she just said a sentence. What?
That's crazy.
What are you doing?
Put her on the mic.
Yeah, I might do that next time. I might give her the wireless mic. She can wear it the lapel and just run around with the wireless.
Yeah, that would be.
And every time she wants to speak, she'll just tell everybody what she's thinking.
Exactly. And then some dogs who are listening.
Yeah. She might be my new co-host.
Exactly.
She'll be better than that fucking event skeptic guy. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Holy crow! He is one of these, a first generation of flat earthers.
He went off on the deep end.
He went off. Boom, bada bing.
Went off the edge of the flat Earth, man.
Oh, he went off the edge. He fell off the snow-capped edges. Oh God, what a bunch of dummies! It's just diabolical, though. Like, and you have to know that there has to be a large percentage of those people that actually don't believe it. That's my
There's
dog in the
some people-
background. If you can hear that, I don't know. But I might.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it.
pick up.
Actually, I heard it.
Sound like you get like your fucking nails pulled out. What's going on over there? What are you doing? Get over here. Come here, puppy. Ow! Just talking to a big black disc. Yeah. I think she's trying to tell me that it's almost time to end the show because the Daily NOONerino is a go. God damn it. Well, I don't know. It's not rapid fire or the Say the Silly Humans podcast.
Yeah.
We can't go for 8 hours like we did back in the day.
No,
man.
no. No, we
Short and
can, we
sweet.
can,
I don't
we
want to
can.
wear it out. I don't want to wear out my welcome with my listeners and you. Come on. No, we can come
No,
back
I'm
though.
not.
We can come back tomorrow. I'll keep you posted because it's always noon somewhere.
Oh, dude, it's 4:20 right now here, so
Is it?
that's a perfect time. That's a perfect time.
Oh, it's a perfect
Yeah,
time to
it's
smoke a
great.
joint. I tried
Yeah, I
to get
could
on
light
for
it up.
4:20, but I didn't get on till 6 something.
Yeah, that was because I fell asleep at the beginning. But now we'll set a fixed time next time, and then we can get
All
on.
right.
Yeah, perfect, man.
Well, is there anything you want to say to these guys that might be listening? And
Well,
present and future.
yeah, well, I hope we do this more often and discuss more interesting topics than just shoot the shit here and just enjoy.
Well, it was a
enjoy
good
everything.
test broadcast.
Yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed it, man. And yeah, stay safe and stay healthy and don't get infested by flat earth or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think that was actually that's the takeaway from this entire bit. Try to have it, add a little bit of levity here, but yeah, don't believe the bullshit.
Don't believe the hype.
Well, but,
Public enemy.
yeah, but I don't want to get. I'm gonna have to put this on YouTube. You know how quick you get a copyright strike.
Oh shit, man.
God damn it! I'm gonna have to
Wait,
bleep you
let
out now. Don't worry, every single artist in the background is mostly free to use, but I probably won't give them mentions of the ones that are. I'm just looking right now at the list. But
No.
Tchaikovsky
Yeah.
won't be mad though.
Tchaikovsky is good. Yeah, I think the copyright expired.
Hang on. There's one thing that we are, and all of you legendary people listening are. I'll tell you what it is. It says
Too COVID to quit. Too COVID to quit. Too COVID to quit. Too COVID to quit.
and that's all I got
That
for
should be-
today.
That should be an entire song, man. That should be an entire song.
All right, shut down a stream. You stay online, mister.
Goodbye, everyone.
We gotta find the fucking stop button here. What the fuck? Oh no, there's one of them. There's the other one. All right, good. And the recording has stopped.